like we're in kindergarten story time. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor in my kitchen so I can show you my nuts and grain drawer. So when we bought this house, the kitchen, I was not exactly stoked about the cupboard organization. This is just one big pit, so we've had some cheap kind of storage alternatives for now until we have the time and money to maybe remodel a bit. But anyways, this little lazy Susan here are a lot of our grains or carbs and things, dried goods. My suggestion is to keep a good balance of more quick cooking grains versus those that might take a little bit longer, and those are usually your healthier whole grains. You can also, of course, buy things that are already frozen and basically just you need to microwave them and have them ready on the table. So some of the quick cooking grains are like couscous, quinoa, white rice cooks relatively quickly. Even if here you see, I've got two kinds of lentils. I've got these red lentils as well as these French lentils. And if you soak these overnight, they also cook really quickly. Some of the longer cooking grains, like your brown rice, your barley and your farro, which I keep in these little baggies because I buy them just in bulk and just. Oh, this is not farro. This is couscous. Take that back. So yeah, this is barley and this is farro. Those take a little bit longer to cook. And with these things, my suggestion is you think about what times you might be home and you have an extra. You have some multitasking time. So when you're doing the laundry or putting your kids to bed, that's when you can maybe start a pot of these because they can be easily refrigerated or frozen and eaten later. And so that's my suggestion for making sure you get some, healthier whole grains into your diet, and if you don't want to go the pre-cooked frozen microwave method. The ones that I really use most frequently are, I use farro a lot, I use my rices a lot. I keep 3 kinds of rices: a brown rice, a jasmine rice, and one like a shorter grain sticky sushi type of rice. I keep quinoa also in here, so that's quick cooking. Alright, so now this little crate here is my dried noodles, pastas category. So what I have here is just two boxes of Italian pasta. I've got some rice noodles and some Asian noodles. These days, like with Asian noodles, you can typically find them in the ethnic aisle of your grocery store. If you can't, see if you have an Asian grocery store around. So these are used for your pad thais, for your vermicelli dishes. If you've ever been to a Vietnamese restaurant, these little thinner rice noodles. So I like making these every so often and making like a big bowl of pho, the Vietnamese beef noodle soup, or a pad thai, and having this around. Makes sure that it's always ready. And then these are rice papers. I really like summer rolls. Those are basically the Vietnamese spring rolls that are not fried. They're much healthier. So I always keep some of these around, and these are made with the vermicelli noodle. Okay, so this is my kind of carbs go-to area here. And basically, this means having this here. If I can plan ahead of time, I can make things ahead of time. If not, again, keep some quick things so you can always have, something carbish ready to go quicker. This is the nut crate. My husband and I are a huge fan of having nuts for snacks, of throwing them into our salads, throwing them into grain bowls, throwing them over vegetables, all sorts of things, using them for pestos. You don't just have to use pine nuts. You can use pretty much any nut for a pesto. So if you're vegetarian, I highly recommend having a lot of different nuts around. They offer good protein, they offer good fats, so definitely keep some nuts in your pantry.